Hey everyone, it's Jason here with a new update for FireJumpers Inferno. So over the last couple of weeks, I've been working on units, specifically those with water capacity and camera transitions to be able to kind of follow targets, but also to be able to just look at targets. So I'll show you the difference right now. Um, I've added a few small things like the transitions here. When I'm changing the elevation, used to be a lot more kind of step, but now it's a lot smoother. So I like that. All right, let's load a map here. Um, okay, so here we go. This is a 10 by 10 map, and I will load some units here. Now, the units that have water capacity, if I take a look at this engine here, he is connected to a city pumping some water. Same thing with this guy, right? And as long as they're close to a unit, I mean to a kind of an urban area, they will be able to fill up. Now, once they're up to 100, there's no more line between them here. Um, one of the things that I added was if I click on the unit, I'm now following that unit. So the camera will continue to kind of move with the unit and also kind of rotate with it. But if I were to click away, just kind of moving the map and letting go, then what happens is that the camera will then re-rotate back to the unit. So it keeps that look at target constantly, but the camera is no longer following that unit. So it's a little bit of a difference. And the reason why this is kind of useful is, let's say we start a fire right here. All right. And I want to get to that fire. I want to be able to kind of change my perspective easily and not have to keep kind of automatically trying to look at that unit, right? I want to get close enough and be able to uh, get a new perspective. Again, here this is kind of following the target. And the difference between again, if again with the aircrafts, this is again the camera following the aircraft, right? So it's slightly different where it's kind of following a little bit behind, while with the engine, if I were to look here, it's kind of looking more straight up because I find it's a little bit easier to just kind of start here and then I can bring it down. Here you can see I can kind of pump some water and fight some fires. If not, otherwise, you can see here the water kind of is slowly decreasing. So back to this guy. Um, all right, so let me come and get some water. This is the twin air, so take a look at here. I'm gonna turn around. Now, once I get below 300, it will go into kind of a first person perspective, which kind of gives you an indication that you are within range. Here, I also added a different color, which is green when you're between 100 and 300, which means that if you're within that range, you will be able to get to drop the water. Here, if you're below 100, it will turn blue if you're over water. Now, if I'm over land and there's no water available, and there's no crashing, so I can just kind of go right up the mountain, it kind of turns red, which means that, again, the water will not drop. So you got to have kind of, you know, have a little bit of skill to go between the 100 and the 300. So let's kind of speed up here. Now, if you line this right, you can now follow the aircraft, and it's kind of cinematic, right? You can just kind of watch it kind of drop the water. and that was it. And again, it will kind of keep looking at that target, and it kind of makes nice. And then I can just kind of have the camera follow the target again, and it's all these little small transitions. So I can come out here and just kind of watch it kind of fly. It's really far. Now, the reason why I don't try to rotate and move is that it would actually kind of create this crazy spiraling effect. So while it's trying to look at and rotate where I clicked on the map, uh, the combination, the math really didn't like the transitions. But you can easily find the unit again, the one that you're kind of looking at. And we can just come back down, get some water. When it's full, there it is, and 100%. And the same thing with helicopters. So we've got helicopters, but they're a little bit different where they can come to kind of a small area here, slow down, and then just kind of reduce their altitude. And if they're low enough, again, they're filling up with some water, and they can just rise straight up. All right. Now their water drop, because they have very little water, it is quite quick. Um, there we go. But, it did get like 3 or 4 of those little spots. So that is kind of the difference. We've got this aircraft still flying. And again, it's just that kind of transition. Now, if I just look away on purpose, it won't. It kind of disengages. It makes it kind of easy that way. Um, yeah, like this. Just kind of following. I'm just looking at that target. That is about it. So again, just small things, making things automatic. I'm hoping will make it a little bit easier for people to kind of see and transition around. Um, and yeah, then you can always go back to California map and load a new location, start a new fire. All right. Well, thank you very much for your time, and I will see you in the next update later.